It's going to start soon. Hi, good morning, everyone. Good morning, middle school 126 to one of our virtual open houses for the Williamsburg High School for Architecture and Design. We're excited to have you guys here this evening and we're watching the recording. My name is Maria Basilio. I'm one of the assistant principals at WHSAD. That's a shortened version of the name of the school. And tonight at our virtual open house, we have several staff members, current and alumni students who just want to let you know what makes WHSAD unique in contrast to other high schools in your district and in contrast to other high schools in New York City as well. So just a little brief overview about WHSAD. It's a very, very small high school. It's located in the Harry Van Arsdale campus in Williamsburg with approximately 600 students. We have a 4-year sequence curriculum that emphasizes architecture, design, and technology. All of our students are expected to graduate not only in 4 years, but also in 4 years with what's called a career and technical education endorsement, the CTE diploma. And finally, we're very proud of it. We actually had a celebration less than 2 hours ago. We are also the only high school in 2020 in New York City to have received the National Blue Ribbon Award. So we're very, very proud of our achievements then. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce my colleague, she's the assistant principal in charge of math, science, physical education, health, and career and technical education, Ms. Kimberly Bruno. She just wants to talk to you guys about our unique 4-year architecture sequence. Hi, Ms. Bruno.
Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to join us this evening. So as Ms. Basilio said, we have a 4-year architecture and design program. So if any student that actually comes to our school has to take 4 years of architecture and design courses. So you'll be taking architecture and design from the moment that you walk in to the moment that you leave. The first year is basically an introduction to design. Students study elements of principles in design. They did physical model making, technical drawing, and they have an introduction to AutoCAD, which is actually the software program that the students use in order to create their architectural drawings. The second year, the students continue their AutoCAD work. And they also learn Revit, which is another program to create architectural drawings. In addition to that, they learn a lot about the structural and foundational elements of architecture, floor plans, plotting, roof types, elevations, footing and foundations. It's a very technical year in that sense, and it's very focused on architecture and the programs needed in order to do the architectural drawings. Year 3, it goes back into more of a design types of work, prototyping, color theory. We also do basic electrical wiring and dimensional design work. So it all culminates in the 12th grade year, where students really at this point have a pretty well-developed portfolio, and they start to work on different projects with a lot of our partners. And they also do more advanced AutoCAD work and some 3D animation as well. So they have more choice in that year with the direction that they want to go in finishing developing their portfolio. So that's a basic summary. If anyone has any questions about the program, be it staff members at the school, students, parents, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll put my contact information in the chat.
Thank you, Ms. Bruno. So once again, unlike other CTE high schools in New York City, where there are many of them only offer 3 years of their sequence, we offer 4 years worth of career and technical education at WHSAD. So what does that mean? As far as data is concerned, we've done very, very well over the past decade plus. Since 2010, we've had a 4-year graduation rate of 90% or higher. In fact, for the last 3 years, since 2017, we've had a 4-year graduation rate of 95% or higher. We had 96% graduation rate despite the COVID pandemic last spring. So we're very proud of the class of 2020 and their resilience in doing really, really well throughout that difficult spring. And also during that difficult spring, 98% of our graduates, all right, successfully completed an approved college or career prep course. This means this: they, during the spring of their senior year, all of our seniors are expected to take the Autodesk AutoCAD certification examination. It's a nationally recognized certification that leads them to be a licensed AutoCAD user. That they can use anywhere. It's not just within New York City. It's a nationally recognized certificate. 98% of the kids who graduated that year passed that spring, despite the fact that schools were closed with whatever limited resources we've had. So we're really, really proud of them for what they've done. And, since we're talking about 8th graders moving on to 9th grade, our 9th graders did very well as well. 96% of them, of our 9th graders last year, earned enough credits to be completely on track for graduation. This means 96% of our freshmen did not have to participate in remote summer beyond, Work, Learn, Grow, and Career Clue. So we're very proud of our freshmen as well, and they're on track to graduate in 4 years. So without any further ado, I'd like you guys to just, like to introduce a lot of our students who are excited to talk to you guys about our program. I'll start with 2 freshmen. The first freshman I'd like to introduce is Derek. Derek, hi, how are you?
My name is Derek Ramos, and I'm a freshman at WHSAD, and I'll be talking about my experience with a program called Summer Bridge. This program is to encourage students to meet our teachers and our peers that we're going to be working with throughout our 4 years at WHSAD. And it's a summer program right before we enter our freshman year. And this program we essentially create or design a project using Minecraft or any design tool we want. And this project we present it to our teachers, and we work with our peers, and we do all these things to get used to or feel how our upcoming years will be at WSOT. And this program has impacted me a lot. It really changed how I saw the school, and I got very used to my new teachers that I'll be working with throughout the years, and I got introduced to a lot of my peers. I've made good friends from Summer Bridge, and I started out the year with a good foot. And that'll be it. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Derek, and we're really, really happy that you are part of our 9th grade class. The next 9th grader I'd like to introduce is a young lady named Jennifer. Jennifer, hi, how are you?
Hi, my name is Jennifer. I'm also a freshman in the school this year. And I just wanted to talk about how I participated in the Summer Bridge program as well this summer that was remotely. And I'm in that program. We made a project, how Derek said, and the project that I made was a hospital, building my own hospital. It was really fun during the Summer Bridge program. And I really like that program because it helps you understand everything that you're gonna learn. It gives you like little by little tips on what you should do and all that. And also they help you in participating more, and it helped me understand what I was gonna learn this year. And also the teachers I knew better, and my peers. They were really renowned. And some of my class, I even have those friends during this class. And we get along really good. And so I really enjoy this school. And I would recommend to every 8th grader that's going to go to this school or would have really good achievements in here, this school.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. It's great seeing you. So these are our incoming freshmen. They've experienced two pretty remote months of school so far, and I'm really, really happy that they have good things to say about our program. Now, I would like to introduce to you guys a couple of sophomores because they did experience at least half a year of in-person schooling here at WHSAD. The first sophomore I'd like to introduce is someone who volunteered for everything over the course of the fall, and that's Miss Davin. Davin, you there, honey?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Davin.
All right. So, really, when I volunteered for everything, I came from a background in IS 318, joining the joining community service, and I saw myself being good here in WHSAD because I like to help out and do stuff. Yeah, mainly do stuff. And when I got to WHSAD, it didn't seem like a change. It just felt like home, and everything felt easy, but not too easy, but it's challenging at the same time, if that's understandable. So once you get into like once you get into a side, or why you should choose it for the first, it feels like home. Everything's easy, but it's not too hard but it's not too easy. So don't expect a walk in the park. And and you should very much join the programs because they can improve your future resume or career choices. When I was a freshman, I joined this shirt making thing with the freshman architecture teacher Garinger, and now that I did that, I can put that on my resume, and that could help me get a job or anything. And colleges will look at that, and that's just great for you. All right, I'm done.
I kind of put you on the spot over there. Thank you, appreciate it. And the final student that we're now I'm going to highlight over here is a young man that has been with us even before he was enrolled in the SAD, when he was still in middle school. And we're very happy that he's presenting this evening. His name is Matthew Z. Hi, Matthew.
Hi, hold on. Is my camera showing? Hi. Hold on. Hi, so I'm Matthew Z. I am a sophomore at WHSAD, and I'll just like to quickly touch on three main topics that I found interesting about this school. Oh, let me fix my camera. So one thing that I really like about this school is the opportunities that you get when you go here. Like it's amazing. Like the opportunities that I've been getting right now they're fun, and they're also very how do I say this? You have a lot of fun, but you can also learn a lot. And the opportunities that you get aren't like, just some opportunities. They're like really concrete opportunities. I had the amazing chance to work to participate in the ACE program, which partners you with like real design, what's it called? Like companies. And I was able to work with one. And just the experience over there, working with all these like professionals and like collaborating with them and like collaborating with my peers was just an amazing experience because I got to learn so much. And even like after COVID happened, I was still able to like take what I learned from that and apply it to school. And the friends that I made there, I'll never forget them. They were so fun to work with. Another thing that I would like to say is that the teachers at this school are amazing. I had one teacher, Mr. Rodriguez, that basically took me under his wing in 9th grade and really taught me how to use this program called Rhino. Also, as well as Mr. Codio here, I'd like to give him a shout out too because he's been amazing. And I was really able to learn a lot from just everybody here. It's an amazing school, and just like Ms. Basilio said, I've been here even before I applied to this school. I had a partner, like basically like a partnership between my middle school and this high school. And honestly, it just feels like home, and it's an amazing experience, and I would really recommend coming here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Matthew. Nice job, everybody. Our current students, this is actually their first time showing their faces on camera on an open house talking about our school. So I'm very happy and very proud of you guys. So thank you for that. I'm just moving along to the presentation, so I can just highlight you guys a couple more pieces of data before you hear a little bit more from more of our students and our staff. What does make WHSAD unique, and I know the sophomores definitely alluded to it right now, is our work-based learning program. Since in the summer of 2019, 200 of our students participated in our own school-based summer youth employment program, which meant instead of applying for SYEP through the lottery system, we ran our own for 200 of our students. They were paid $15 an hour, and they served internships, many of which were with our industry partners, specifically in architecture, engineering, and design and preservation, all throughout New York City. Now, COVID happened, and they did cancel SYEP for the summer of 2020. We were able to talk to WHSAD, and they did reopen a program for us, albeit a small one, for about 50 of our students last summer. So last summer, 50 of our students were able to participate in SYEP remotely and earn job experiences and learn about, how to build resumes and career, and hold these workshops and speak with professionals in the field over last summer. So we were even able to offer internships even during the pandemic. In fact, right now, it started this week, 45 of our students are currently enrolled in something called Work, Learn, Grow. They are taking their CUNY classes remotely. They can earn 2 CUNY course credits until January when that class ends. That's why we have new speakers tonight. They're our old open house speakers who spoke on Tuesday night in our last open house are actually taking that CUNY class right now. And, so we hired some new kids to do this. But once they're done with the CUNY course in January, they're going to have 200 paid internship hours of $15 an hour in the spring. And depending on what the city plans as far as, DOE is concerned, those paid internship hours can either be in person, blended, or fully remote. So we're looking for, employers who are willing to offer those types of internships for our kids, but it's there. And we're really, really happy that we have those programs, and we're still offering internships despite the fact that schools are closed, school buildings are closed. So I'd like to introduce to you now our final current student. He's a senior, so he's able to give you a full gamut of what working while in high school is like, and taking advantage of these opportunities so you can have a resume as soon as you graduate from high school. And that's one of our seniors, Matthew L. Matthew L. Hi, how are you, Matthew?
You can see me?
I can see you.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Matthew Luciano, and I'm a senior. And like Derek was talking about in the beginning of the summer bridge program, I was actually one of the first incoming freshmen that year to do the summer bridge, and I just thought it was a great way for incoming freshmen to interact with the teachers and other students before they actually come into school. And that's how I met Mr. Codio, the senior architect teacher. So he's the senior architect teacher, but he's more interactive with the kids on architecture business projects and more things like that. So he's really like family to me because he's seen me progress since freshman year. And that was another benefit of knowing Mr. Codio, because when he saw my potential throughout my freshman year, he offered me a job going into my sophomore year to work as a mentor in the summer bridge program. So I was able to teach incoming freshmen AutoCAD and a little bit of Rhino. And then as he saw me progress more, that's when he bumped me up into an internship with Heritage Equity Partners. So I worked for a lady named Toby Mosklovich, and that it was more of an office job, which I thought was kind of cool because I've got to sit in an architecture setting and get to learn a little bit more about the architecture business. And last year, going into my junior year, that was going into my junior year. And now, due to COVID, I didn't really work as much, but I'm working with Codio on little side projects for the Markerspace Studio Club, which is another way of saying architecture club, just a little bit more advanced. And we also bring in incoming the freshmen that come in, and just so that the kids can interact more with each other and get more into the architecture setting. and I will be introducing Miss Wilson. Thank you.
Hey, thanks, Matthew. Hi, everybody. My name is Miss Wilson, and I am the Work-Based Learning Coordinator at Architecture and Design. Give me a second. I can share. Here we go. All right. Perfect. Okay. So, excuse me. So work-based learning encompasses a lot of different things at Architecture and Design. Ultimately, we are hoping students are striving for those internships when they get into their junior and senior years. But there's a lot of other activities involved. And the goal of work-based learning is really to help students recognize what the different career options are in all the fields related to architecture and design. So engineering, construction, historic preservation, design, all of those things that go into it, that it's not just architecture, but all of these related fields. And so what are the different options in those fields? In addition to learning about those options, there's also a lot of valuable skills for future employment, what we call our employability skills, things like writing resumes, having job interviews, understanding a professional workplace. Matthew alluded to working in an office. Working in an office is very different than, say, working on a construction site, and what the different expectations are. And a lot of those other skills are going to help you out, even if you end up in a completely different field. And the third part of work-based learning that is especially meaningful to me as a math teacher is helping students recognize the relationship between what's happening in school and what's happening in the workplace, and that what they're learning in school really does have a place in the workplace and in their future careers. So before you get to internships, there's a lot of other opportunities for students to be involved in. I'm going to talk briefly about a few of them. Our design challenges, these are targeted design projects that students get involved in, where they are mentored and given critique and guidance from professionals in the field. The two pictures on the left are both from projects of recent years that are through the Department of Buildings. Specifically in February, WHSAD always does work for the Department of Buildings around Black History Month. A couple of years ago, they did a project on the top where they were researching the different jazz clubs in different parts of the city, speaking to the owners, the musicians, and creating artistic interpretation designs of representing the history of the clubs. Last year, they did speeches and talked about presentations about Black architects. There's a lot of opportunity there, and their work is constantly being evaluated and given suggestions and feedback from those professionals. Also on the right, this is a project that we started a few years ago with the School of Visual Arts in sort of production and product design and marketing and understanding, meeting the needs of a community and the products that are missing from the market and how you can develop them and market them. It started as an after-school pilot program, was very successful, and is now incorporated into one of our classes where the students learn about talking to community members and trying to help understand about the needs and then design solutions for those needs. ACE Mentorship is a nationwide program and certainly across New York City, and students work in teams with other students, both from WHSAD and from other schools, with professionals in the fields of architecture, construction, and engineering, hence ACE. It's once a week after school, so it's a great program to start to dip your toe in ninth grade when you're still learning what you're interested in and you really want to explore a lot of options. And you get to, normally you would go to the offices, now they're doing it fully virtual, but you get to work with other students and with these professionals on a project. You get sort of a design project that you have to focus on for the year. This is one from a few years ago that students were working on that was specifically, as you can see, around disaster relief. They were designing modular homes that were prefabricated and that could be erected quickly after a natural disaster. And these ones were designed specifically for an area in South America that is prone to mudslides. So that the idea being that you could come in and help people out very quickly after some sort of natural disaster. ACE is great. They offer college scholarships, which many of our students have been fortunate enough to be awarded in recent years. And they are in the process, I think it was supposed to start this year, so I'm assuming it'll be starting next year. developing a college internship program. So if you participated in ACE in high school, when you're in college, you can go back to ACE and do internships at some of the firms that you worked with in the program. Our worksite visits, our field trips, are opportunities to go out and see the wonderful places that are available in New York City, are great opportunities for students to get behind the scenes knowledge and insight into different places and the people that work there and how they got to where they are. They're not just your standard visits. We're often behind the scenes. We're often in places where the general public isn't able to go, or we're with people who the general public don't always interact with. On the top left, this is a trip a few years ago that we took to the TWA terminal at JFK Airport right before it closed down for a huge renovation. It had been closed to the public for many, many years. The gentleman who was speaking to the students was the vice president of the Port Authority at the time, in charge of the project. So he talked about his own career path and how he became in charge of this massive, massive project at JFK, but also then the challenges of doing a huge construction project in the middle of one of the busiest airports in the world. And the students got to explore this really unique space in New York City. Similarly, on the right, this was a visit to St. Patrick's Cathedral a few years ago when it was undergoing its major renovation in Manhattan. The gentleman in the orange vest, he was the lead engineer on the project. He'd actually come to school the week before to talk to the students about what they were going to see. He brought samples of the stones for them to touch and hold and learn about what this restoration was going to look like. And they got to go and experience and see what it was like at St. Patrick's. The two photos on the bottom are from the summer programs that are part of SYEP. The one on the left is a visit to a green roof in Manhattan. There was a big focus last summer on sustainability. So students got to visit some sustainability sites in the city and learn about the different things that companies and buildings are doing to try to be more climate and environmentally friendly. On the right is a visit to a model making shop as part of an architecture firm. A lot of people only ever think of the architecture on the 2D side, on the blueprints or on the computer. There's still a lot of people who are out there actually building the physical models. The students got to go and see what that experience was like. All of these are things that, you know, the average person doesn't always get to do because we have these partners who take our students, you know, backstage to see things. Architectural Grill is a company that is down in Gowanus that we've worked with for a number of years. It is a manufacturing company. They manufacture metal grills. They students work with them to learn about the design process. The designs are done on AutoCAD, and then the students get to learn all about the fabrication, the finishing, the whole process from design to the finished product. And it's a great opportunity for them to work alongside these professionals at this company. We've had students who have also interned there, and even some students who have been offered jobs there after graduation who worked there part-time while they were in college. Makeville is a woodworking studio, also in Gowanus, that we've been partnered with for about 6 years now. Students get to do woodworking classes and learn about the different tools and the different machinery, whether it's power tools, sometimes it's hand tools. Every time it's a different project. These were lamps that the students got to design and make. They also did the wiring for the lighting. This was a project on the lathe, which is how you make anything that is round that you spin. So the students got to work on that. And then ultimately, all of these things are building up so that you are ready for that internship. That when the internship time comes around, you know what you're interested in and you know what you want to do. One of our longest standing internship partners is Greenwood Cemetery, which is here in, Central Brooklyn, South Brooklyn. They're one of our original partners since 2009. And we have students who've worked there for many years on their crew in the summer, actually doing restoration of the monuments. Sometimes they're doing work on some of the landscape restoration. They're learning about the different materials and how you preserve and restore the different types of stone, granite, marble, sometimes metal, because there may be, metal pieces in the monument. We also have students on the left working in the archives, dealing with the historical documents of Greenwood. And it's a really great historic place. They have such a wonderful history, and they love working with young people and teaching them about it, because a lot of people don't think about a cemetery as a place of historic artifacts like that. And it's very eye-opening for the students. A few other internships that we've had, some of the more office-oriented ones. If you want the hands-on, you can go to Greenwood. If you want the office, on the bottom here, we have Jonathan. He worked at Silman, which is a structural engineering firm in the city. He did a lot of work with their marketing department. Also got to go on some site visits to some projects they were working on. Joseph on the top is at Brooklyn Borough Hall. One of our ongoing internships is at the Office of Topography. All the maps for the city of Brooklyn, the students help with updating and keeping updated whenever there's a change in a building. On the right, we have an internship in Red Hook at a place called Portside, New York, which was is a old oil tanker that has been decommissioned and is being restored and being turned into a floating maritime museum. Internships are across the board in many different fields, a lot of different opportunities for students to get involved in. A few other programs I want to mention quickly that our students have access to. Construction Skills is a pre-apprenticeship program for students interested in the building trades, electricians, plumbers, painters, carpenters, anything like that, that helps students gain entry into the trades after college. Pratt Young Scholars is through Pratt Institute, and that is a portfolio development program for students interested in helping assemble their portfolios for their college applications. CTEISP is the Industry Scholars Program. That's another internship program through the Department of Education. Ms. Basilio already mentioned SYEP, and our partner there is St. Nick's Alliance. We also do a lot of community service, which helps connect students to Williamsburg, to Brooklyn, and to their larger communities, and give back to what's around them and help keep them engaged. So there's a lot of opportunities that we have available to students. And the list is constantly growing. We had an event today celebrating some of those internship partners. And 10 years ago, we had 9 summer internships, and now we have over 200. We have lots of opportunities for students to get involved, and we hope that when you come to WHSAD, you will participate in them. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ms. Wilson. And again, that's really one of the reasons why WHSAD is so much more unique, is the opportunities that we offer our kids. We want all of our students to be able to graduate WHSAD with a resume, with the ability to have had that work experience while they were still in high school. You know, so many people right now believe that, you know, you just have to go to high school and then get your bachelor's degree in college, and that college diploma is automatically a free pass to get a job, when in reality they had absolutely no work experience after they graduate, and they don't know how to not only look for a job but also how to keep a job. And we believe that we're doing our young people a disservice by not giving them these opportunities to work while they're in high school and gain that valuable experience as they move on to college. So speaking of college, I'd like to introduce our senior architecture teacher, Mr. Codio, because he just wants to talk about reflection of the 4 years and what it has done to our alumni after they've graduated from our program. Hey, Mr. Codio.
Okay. Hey, how you doing, everyone? Okay, can you hear me? Okay, awesome. So once again, thank you, Emily, for making that introduction, and as well as explain very clearly what we offer at the school, and as well as all the other students. Thank you so much. But one of the key things that we gear our curriculum is towards college and career readiness. So we always see what the college want, what the college is learning, and as well as what the career-based learning, especially technology as well. So because of that, we mimic what they need from us once we graduate from WHSAD, as well as the career force. So one of the things that is very essential, once again, like some of the students say, in terms of presentation, having the ability to actually stand in front of an audience, articulate, and explain your design concept. And that's one of the most things when students go into college, rather it be architectural, business, they still have to be able to understand that you're going to have to face an audience. You're going to have to do an elevator pitch. So these are some of the main skill sets that we teach, along with the architectural programs that we teach: AutoCAD, Revit, Rhino, Maya, 3D Max. So all those industry softwares, as well as the technology, the 3D printers, the laser engravers, the cutters, as well as the plotters. So every single thing that the industry offers, we teach the students all the way starting from the bridge programs. A lot of the students mention that as soon as they enter, they have knowledge of what the industry and what the college are required of them, and we make sure that they get that understanding. So if they do pursue the field of architecture and design, their first 2 years is pretty much, it's not a walk in the park, but they have a good background and a foundation understanding of it. And I'm going to have one of my seniors speak on that, which is he graduated, Jonah Vasquez, speak more about that. But one of the main things that with the curriculum, with the freshman year, understanding basic design principle, architectural drafting, intro to AutoCAD. Sophomore year, detail, elevation, sections, and plans, knowing how to read a blueprint. And that's one of the key things that lead towards their certification exam that gives them an entry-level position at a design company or design firm before they even graduate from WHSAD. I work with Emily Wilson, like she mentioned. She's a work-based learning coordinator. So we give the students, we're able to engage with them and find out where to best place them, such as Matthew, and both Matthews actually, and Parker, Derek, which is going to be soon to have his first internship, hopefully very soon in the summer. Okay, so, but other than that, I'm gonna keep it short. So besides that, we also keeping track of all the, as much as most of the graduates as possible, to see what they are doing, especially the ones that pursue the architectural field realm, or they need to understand more about the program, because our doors is always open to them. That's one of the key things is until they graduate and start working, until they become sustainable, to be able to sustain themselves, we will be there for them. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Jonah Vasquez. Are you there?
Of course I'm here.
Awesome.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Jonah. I just recently graduated this last summer. And I go to Vanderbilt University on the Posse Scholarship. And WHSAD has provided me with a variety of opportunities, to say the least. Specifically speaking from like personal experience, I would say my freshman year I entered, I was very shy, timid, single track minded. I think the biggest thing that I took away out of my 4 years would have to be the autonomy that WHSAD's curriculum pushes for. Not even in practice, I would have to say that just conceptualizing what autonomy is at such a young age and growing and experiencing that from these 4 years, it's definitely helped me. I mean, it just emphasizes that you are responsible for all your work. I mean, in high school, of course, you're on a high horse, you're on a pedestal, it's the best 4 years of your life. You can, and I think especially now in college, I'm starting to realize that autonomy is very, very like fundamental to just having a great college experience, both academically and socially. But outside of autonomy and that, WHSAD, one of my favorite things about WHSAD would most likely have to be that WHSAD was a small community. Everybody knew everybody, and that it worked wonders for me specifically. I think coming in as such a shy person, I just learned how to open up with people, how to present myself, how to network with individuals. I went in wanting to do architecture and I left not wanting to do architecture, but I would still say that the CTE program is so beautiful. And WHSAD provides so many different opportunities, a variety of opportunities. And it really helps students to not only explore architecture, but to really just gain a really amazing work ethic, especially from Codio and all the other CTE teachers. They all work very hard to make sure that these students have access to these opportunities. And I think it's especially important in schools that have these large percentage of minority students, because honestly, I think in college I've taken classes and they've emphasized how severe, how severely underprivileged like public schools can be, especially in New York City, but that's a different conversation. And it's just, I feel like that's one of the beautiful things about WHSAD. Like, it's just the amount of opportunity there. You just have to take it. Just say yes. And I think that's something that I would tell anybody and everybody. Just say yes. Don't think about it. Say yes and worry about it later. These opportunities a lot of kids don't have access to. And honestly, WSAD provides some of the best opportunities for students interested in architecture. Even if you find yourself not wanting to do architecture later on, you might as well explore it now and then figure that out for yourself later on. It's valuable and it's beautiful. I mean, I think without WSAD, what if I still had my interest in architecture and I went into college and wasted all this money? It would have been an absolute waste. And even without the architecture aspect of WSAD, like there's so many teachers there in this small community that are so interested in you and your development that they truly do care about you as a student, as a person growing, not just teaching you and feeding you a curriculum. And I think it's something that I truly do miss, because college you don't really get to talk to your teachers in such a personal way. But yeah, I mean, then there's so many more things I could touch on. There's so much that I'm thinking about in my 4 years. If anyone has any like specific questions, I would be more than willing to answer.
All right, thank you so much, Jonah. And again, this is probably the perfect time then to answer any specific questions anyone will have here. Okay.
I have a question, Ms. Vasily.
Yes, hi, Mrs. Zamora. What's up?
I have a question for the students. Obviously, you feel that, do you feel that you made the right choice by coming to WSAD? And if you did, what helped you get to that choice? How did you narrow it down to say, this is the school that I want, and this is where I'm going to engage, and this is where I'm going to succeed? How did you come up with that, the decision at, 8th grade? Any other students, any other graduates?
I can answer that.
Okay.
So I come from a family where my mom didn't get to finish high school. And that made for the conversation of high school very, very much more interesting, because we're both kind of in the same boat in regards to like knowledge and going through the American educational system. So I just remember when going in 8th grade, I was very much in love with architecture, the concept of architecture. I was very curious, and WSAD was one of the only schools that really just provided this very specific and quality CTE track. And at first, of course, like I was so young. I think this has something to do specifically with American culture and how we put an emphasis on children to know what they want to do later on. But I think WSAD gave me such a unique experience and opportunity to explore that and not have any consequence. Like that in itself is like beautiful, to be able to explore such in depth to so many different opportunities, like and a pre-professional track, and to figure that out for myself. And I would say when it really clicked for me, it's like knowing that I made the right choice was, I would say, really when I saw myself starting to open up to people, when I started to see value in the relationships that I was fostering, not only between students, but in the teachers at WSAD. It was just, it really meant something to me, and it still means a lot to me today.
Thank you, Jonah. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonah. And just want a little blip, Jonah. You are always welcome to contact us. You know how to reach us, and you know it. Okay. I still help some kids with calculus homework sometimes. Okay. So just a heads up there. All right. So, Miss Chu's audio is a little off, so I'm going to be Miss Chu for this one moment. I'd like to say thank you guys for showing up. Mr. Zamora, I am recording this, so we can post you a link, if you want to show this to your families over at 126, anyone who have missed it. And I also put in the chat, and I'll follow it up with an email form if they want to go to a live session. We have one on Saturday morning and another one Tuesday at 5:30.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Please post it. I'll send it over today.
Yeah, we're always welcoming because we have a pretty good relationship with 126 over time. But we are completely unscreened program. We don't look at student records. We don't look at attendance. We don't look at report cards. But we do look at our kids who want to be part of our program. So the most important thing is, we only have 150 slots and about 1,200 applicants. So really the best way to match with us is to rank us number 1 in the matching system. Since many of your kids go to school in Brooklyn, that improves their odds. And really, this shows us like the most important thing about WSAD is the fact that they want to be here. So it doesn't matter, what their grades are, doesn't matter, you know, whatever they have, whatever they may be interested in, so long as they want to be part of our school and are willing to show up every single day and take the opportunities when we give it to them, they're going to come out a lot like the students that you see here, because these students are not, we didn't pick the cream of the crop. They're great kids. Don't get me wrong. They're wonderful kids. We pick kids who just, saw an opportunity and wanted to speak about the school. And that's how we've always operated over time. All right.
Thank you.
All right. So without any further ado, I want to value everybody's time here, especially our kids who have been in front of the computer since 8 this morning. So thank you guys, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Have a great evening, guys.
Thank you, Mr.
Good
Cody.
night.
See you again.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye,
Good night.
guys. Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye. Good night.
Bye.